So in any kind of, even in personal growth, but organizational growth as well, you would look at some metrics, right?
Yes.
Some metrics would be important, and it would be different for every person, every organization.
Yes.
But to learn from you, what are the important metrics for you in personally? So money can be one metric,
Yes.
but there can be so many other metrics, like
Yes.
you were saying. So what are the metrics for you?
So one of the major metrics, how many people I'm training. I mean, how many people I have made independent. Insofar as I can very proudly say that in my team I have 2 people who are as good as me. Even if I'm not there, they are able to, manage things. So that's factor number 1. Second factor is how many clients we are serving, in a sense, how many people that we interact and work with, how many of them stick with us. So our retention is significantly high. I mean, there's hardly any client that says, we want to, if we refuse, we can't, because of whatever reason, we can't proceed. So, our retention with the clients are very, very high. Secondly, in criminal law, what happens is that a lot of work comes through successful clients. So, major portion of the work on the criminal side comes from the referrals only, the clients that we've represented. So, these are, some of the metrics. And as I said, life is all about progression. Life is all about learning, progressing. We're still learning, we're still progressing, and we constantly try to improve. And that's the fundamentals we work on. Money is not the sole factor.
Okay. So this was about the organization, but when you look at yourself, which is different than running a practice or a firm, or etc.
Yes.
So when you look at it personally, what are the metrics that you look at yourself?
See, for me, in order to rate my own self, I would always try to analyze क्या मैं better कर सकता था इससे. For example, I argued one quashing petition yesterday, and it did well. We got what we wanted, but I was little unhappy with the way I argued, and I when I was analyzing my own self, I thought I could have done a little better. I could have argued this way or that way. So I think this is
So
self-reflection and a constant endeavor to be a little better than what I was a day before.
it always helps if there are numbers, but you are like, there are other numbers that you look at.
Not really. Because I mean, there are very different kind of dimensions in a work. Numbers are not. I mean, numbers could be deceptive.
Sure.
If you want to talk about billing versus recovery, then there are several other factors. So for me, I mean, that is an important factor, but that's
still at work, in personal also. So for example, I will give you some examples, numbers I track about myself. I track my sleep, very important for me. So if I know that if I don't sleep well, it goes for a toss.
Yeah.
I try to measure how much water I drink. Not exactly, but I know I know exactly there are 5 bottles where they are, and whether by the end of the day.
I get your point.
Right? Third is like I track, for example, I'm wearing this watch and I track, what has been my workouts over time.
Yeah.
Right? So I know if how much I worked out and what was the result, what was the intensity, etc. You want to track all of that. It really has helped me over time.
So yeah, I get your point. So whatever goes inside my body is measured. I don't eat anything without making a note of it. So I have a very, very strict eating schedule. It's not a less eating, but it's a very structured eating. So there's a dietitian who makes my diet. So I've lost about 27 kg recently. I was featured that was a personal achievement of mine. I don't say it on an official platform, but I got featured on Men's XP on their official page. I got featured on Muscle Blaze YouTube platform. They made a documentary on my transformation. So from 91 kgs, I dropped it down to 63. So that's the personal milestone for me, which I track very, So what goes inside my body, my nutrition I track, and daily step counts I track. The workout I do, I track.
So personal growth requires dedicated time.